A lot of you don't know about this because it's been hidden. All this is fake. Everything's been hidden. Everything that you know is a lie. We wasn't messing with nobody. These folks were so jealous, they figured out a way to get a plane and drop bombs on us.
Keefe D has been arrested, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's time to come for Diddy. We all know Diddy's the one who ordered to hit on Tupac, and it's only a matter of time before Diddy faces the consequences for his actions. The feds are on to him. All this stuff with Keefe, Tupac, and Diddy putting a price on Peace's head kind of got quiet after Pac died. But it wasn't like that for long. Things are heating up once again, and it basically went on and off for a while. However, we can date all this back to 2006 or so. Back in 2006, Biggie Smalls' ma kicked off the whole thing by reopening the case about her son's murder. She sued the LAPD for a cool $500 million, claiming that they were covering up her son's death. That lawsuit led to a reopening of the case, and lap detective Greg Caden got on the job. Detective Caden came across something pretty wild. He believes that the murders of Tupac and Biggie are connected. While he was digging into Biggie's murder, he uncovered some new info linking both the cases to God. Ether. Now here's where it gets real juicy. Caden says Puff Daddy or P. Diddy or Diddy, whatever you want to call him, might have hired a hitman to off Tupac. He thinks Diddy put $1 million dual bounty out on Tupac and Suge Knight. It was all about a rap beef drama involving Tupac and Biggie. Caden claims that C had some tight gang connections in LA, and so he hired a Crips member named Dwayne Keith Key D. Davis to do the dirty work. So who actually pulled the trigger on Tupac? Though Caden says it was that a Crips guy named Orlando Baby Lane Anderson. Originally it was supposed to be Key D, but things went sideways and they ended up on the wrong side of Tupac's car, so Baby Lane did the job instead, killing Tupac and wounding Schneid. Now what's real crazy is that Baby Lane and Pac got into a brawl at a Vegas casino just hours before the shooting went down. Now, here's where it takes a turn. Biggie's then wife Faith Evans supposedly knew about Diddy's plot to off Tupac. Now, after Tupac was killed, ID claims he reached out to Diddy and Evans and letting them know that they were behind Tupac's death.
Send a shout out to Faith. Hey girl, Faith and Bad Boy.
But Biggie himself, Caden, says he wasn't involved in Tupac's murder at all. Even though they had that infamous rap beef, according to him, Biggie had no clue about Diddy's plan to knock off Tupac and Suge Knight. Now, after Tupac's death, it said Knight wanted payback. Allegedly, he hired a Bloods gang member to take out Biggie Smalls. The hitman did the D, shooting Biggie after a Vibe magazine party. Interestingly, the documentary says Suge Knight spotted Tupac's killer and even went to the same school as the hired hitman Keefe D. So the question is, who offed Biggie? A Bloods gang member named Wardell Pouyeff was the alleged triggerman.
So when you hear the theory that Poochie was the shooter, what is your take on it?
Right on.
Okay.
You dead point. See,
Suge Knight reportedly paid him $13K for the job. According to Kai, Poochie was at the same party as Biggie and then opened fire on his car as they were leaving. Sadly, though, Biggie didn't make it to the hospital. Now here's the twist. Caden says they dropped the whole murder case because the LAPD managed to dodge Biggie's mom's $500 million loss in 2009. Kanan got yanked from the task force due to a separate internal affairs investigation. He got clear to all charges, though, but some folks still see him as a, quote, rogue cop. As for the alleged murderers, both Orlando Baby Lane Anderson and Wardell Pouyeff are said to have kicked the bucket from unrelated causes. So even if everything in the documentary is true, the guys that actually gone and done the dirty work for the murders of Tupac and Biggie aren't around to face their justice now. At this moment, we have to say a few words about Peace's investigation, as it was never closed, and to this very day we have developments on that story. A few years went by after Poe's passing, and the cops were working on the Tupac case remotely from home. This is why the case resurfaced. If they had genuinely stopped, they wouldn't have come up with a new indictment for Keefe D and the two remaining individuals in this case. To nobody's surprise, they are now finally looking into Diddy. Numerous individuals are caught up in this complex web, and now they're examining those in New York, including Diddy and his associates. They're looking at Diddy's friend, the person who wrote the check Alia's manager and the individuals who started the record label to cover the $1 million hit on Tupac. They attempted to hide the money and engaged in various actions. This particular sequence of events is one of the most convoluted and bizarre situations. Not only did they attempt to plan and set up Tupac, they also shot him and tried to conceal evidence by repainting the rental car white. It was a rental car, and Key mentioned that he was being scrutinized because they were attempting to locate the people who could buy the rental car from him, finance the operation, and procure the weapon used. Key put himself in the spotlight by mentioning it in his statements, writing it in a book, and repeatedly discussing it in interviews. He believed he could get away with it, but in reality, he was just giving him more ammunition to come after him. What's apparent is that you shouldn't talk about some things that people like Keefe did. If he had remained silent, he might have escaped legal repercussions. However, the karma and the specter of Tupac are just working against those who are trying to oppose the forces of justice in this situation. There were some suspicions that Suge Knight or Death Row Records might have set up Tupac, but investigations revealed that Suge himself was grazed in the head during the shooting and was in the same car as Tupac, making it very unlikely that he was the one behind the setup. This led investigators to focus on the individuals in the white Cadillac. They interviewed two girls who were in a drop-top car in front of Tupac's vehicle. Then they also questioned customers and employees who were present at the scene. The puzzle pieces began to come together. Now, the ongoing rivalry between East Coast and West Coast involves figures like P. Diddy, Shay, and others, and they all played a role in this complex case. It's a real troubling situation where people were pitted against each other, and it raises questions about what actually happened to Tupac and Biggie. Behold, P. Diddy, the big media mogul, is back in the middle of this whole Tupac murder mess. Has gone unsolved for nearly 30 years now. So here's the deal. Nevada authorities recently turned over a new leaf in this long-standing saga by searching a place linked to Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. This guy's nephew, Orlando Anderson, had been on the radar as a top suspect in Tupac's killing for a while. Keefe himself has confessed to being part of the murder more than once, and reports are saying the police found some .40 caliber bullets while they were doing a search last week. And then a few days later, he started talking about how he met Diddy, who's rumored to have called the shots on Tupac. He said he regrets ever crossing paths with Diddy, claiming that,
Like we said, we pulled up to the stoplight, and they was making a right. It was about 17 cars. We just pulled up in the gutter lane. Seen their ass. When I first shot it, hit big boy in the head. I thought he was dead. Like, damn, he's dead. And they didn't even get a chase, make it so bad.
even pointed fingers at Diddy for messing up his empire and bringing down Death Row Records back in 2021. Key spilled the beans during a podcast interview, given a play-by-play of how his nephew, who later died in the separate gang shooting, killed Tupac. We said we pulled up to the stoplight and they was making a ride. It was about 17 cars. We just pulled up in the G lane. Seemed the ass that first shot hit big boy in the eye. Thought he was dead. Damn, he dead, and they didn't even give a chase. Make it so bad. Then he went on to add this: Touche just ducked his head, and the first bullet went in his head, and the next ones hit him like he was doing a breakdown trying to jump in the back seat or something. What the F looked like he was trying to jump in the butt. Bullet was in his ass. LAPD Detective Greg Caden, who handled the case back in 2006, came to the conclusion that Diddy put a $1 million bounty on both Tupac and Suge Knight, who were his rivals. He didn't mince words about Lapd's handling of the case. Either Caden claimed from the very beginning that Keefe is making a mockery out of the justice system, and the public perception is that Tupac's murder case is of little interest to the LBBD, and his eyes, the optics on it, are horrible for history's sake, and for the sake of their own reputation. Singh believes that the police ought to arrest Keefe, clear the murder case, and place the burden of responsibility onto the shoulders of the DA's office. Is that simple? That's what's going on right now. The authorities didn't investigate Diddy as of now, which raised suspicions because why was this powerful figure not being looked into, despite substantial evidence against him? According to authorities, that missing piece was substantial evidence they claimed they couldn't just rely on Keefe's word to make an arrest. They needed concrete proof. Man, they might have found it now, and through ways that he wouldn't really expect. According to some sources, Snoop Dogg has key information about Diddy's involvement in Tupac's murder, not just that, but he reportedly talked to Key before his arrest and knows exactly what happened the night Tupac was tragically lost. All eyes are squarely on Diddy, the man who seemingly escapes consequences time and time again. Allegedly, Snoop is already cooperating with the authorities, providing a statement where he discusses how Diddy paid Key to eliminate Tupac people, and fans want to see Diddy face justice, so he can't keep avoiding consequences for his actions. Ions, it's about damn time this music mogul faces the ramifications of his deeds. What you'll think is going to happen when the smoke clears, we're going to see Diddy arrested and put behind bars. Let us know what you think down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend or two, and as always, keep it real.